All right, family, I am now in my kitchen and I am getting my pot together. I'm going to rinse it out with a little salt. So what I did was, there is my stainless steel pot. So I put a little water and rinse it out already. And then what I usually do is sprinkle a little salt, remove all negativity, And then what I usually do is take my hands, because they've been cleaned with the Florida water before, remove all negativity and just get that salt to where it touch every aspect of the inside of this container. All right, get your things going, and then I'm just gonna rinse it off real quick with a little regular sink running water. Nothing important. All right. So now you have your pot. It's cleaned out. Let me get rid of the extra water. Now you have your pot, it's cleaned out. And so I take my distilled water. Let me put the pot back a little bit so you can see. I take my distilled water. Okay. Now, do you see that? What it say? Perfect for small appliances. So make sure you guys don't drink distilled water, because it's not made for the body. It's made for appliances. All right, and so what I do with this is just I eyeball it. I don't want to put too much in there, so I fill my pot up about halfway. All right. And so now what I do is I turn my stove on, and I got electric stove, so I put it on about 6 because I want to get the water boiling. All right, and while I'm letting it boil, I put a little rosemary oil in there to help remove negativity. All right, remove all negativity. All right, now because that's an oil and water, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. All right, so that's what the oil looks like in the water. And then I also take a splash of holy water and I put in there, and I say cleanse and purify, consecrate, remove all negativity. All right. Uh-oh, sorry. Y'all, I got a small space. All right. So now I'm gonna move on to getting my herbs and bringing those in. Now, I did not Florida water my pot because my hands were already Florida water, and we're going to add heat to it, which is cleansing, and it has the water in it, so I didn't see a need to. But if you feel the need to add Florida water or put Florida water in your pot, that's up to you. Clean your pot with Florida water before you begin. This pot is only used for spiritual stuff, so I don't have to cleanse it as much. I've already kind of consecrated it for spiritual stuff, okay? So let's get those herbs. I'll be right back. All right, family, I am back, and these are the bags, and I got black because I'm cleansing and banishing and removing negativity. But these are the mesh bags that I was talking about. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is like a 4x6 size. All right, you don't need a huge bag. You don't need a whole lot of herbs, okay? Remember, it's your intention. So what I usually try to do, I thought I had a piece of paper, so I'm gonna go find a piece of paper. All right, I got a piece of envelope. And I'm folding it in half so I can get my herbs in there. So I can get my herbs in the bag without making a mess of everything, okay? So what I usually do is remove my stones, all right? And you can charge this in the sun for a couple of minutes if you would like. So I put about half of it in there because I don't want it to be too much where I got a lot of residue coming back out. Alright, so just enough. And I'm going to slide it in my bag. Just like so. Alright. So there's the herbs in the bag. All right, I'm gonna put some more in there. All right. All right, so there you have it. All right, and so to me, that's enough for this bag, and then I just tie it off. And then I just tie it off so the herbs don't come out the bag. All right. And now there is your spiritual bath to sit in your water. But I have two of these to make because one is for a customer. And so I'm putting their herbs in their bag. All right, and I dumped all the herbs out the bowl. That's why I like these bowls, because it's the perfect size. Okay. There you go. Now, this is a bath that's included in some work that I'm doing for the customer. So that's why it's only a little bit of herbs in here. Had this been a herb bath that somebody actually purchased for just the bath, it would be both of these bags together in one bag. But if you notice, I split the two up, okay? So it would be like that if it was just one. But because I'm making two baths, that's why I did it that way. So now my water is beginning to boil. You see the bubbles at the bottom. It's getting hotter. It's getting hotter. So what I'm gonna do now is I am going to read Psalms 51. Okay. I had to go get my other phone to get the Psalms 51. And I just go to Google. Some people get the Bible. I got a Bible around here somewhere. And so I go to the Psalms 51 King James Version, and I usually go to the Bible Gateway. All right, Psalms 51. And I read that whole thing to my herbs. So I'm holding my herbs up to my mouth as I read. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness, according to the mercitudes of thy tender mercies. Blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee and only thee have I sinned, and I have done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden parts thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones that thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then I will teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Deliver me from the blood guiltiness, O God of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud thy righteousness. O Lord, open up my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou desirest not sacrifice, or else I would give it. Thou delightest in not a burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. O Lord, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy good pleasures unto Zion. Build the walls of Jerusalem. Thou shalt be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness. Then thou shalt be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offerings and whole burnt offerings. Then they shall offer their bullocks upon thy altar. All right. So that's what I read to you guys. The whole Psalms 51, verse 1 to verse 19. All right. And so what I'm gonna do, I am going to put my spiritual bath in my water, and I'm just gonna repeat the verse where it talks about the hyssop, and that is verse 7. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Ashe. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Ashe. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Ashe. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Ashe. So I'm going to let that cook down, and I'm going to add my top, which is a glass top to keep my heat in now. And I will let this boil out maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And then what I do with this is I'll pull my my herb bag out of the water, and I'll set that maybe in that silver bowl. And I'll take this water that was boiled and blessed, and I would add this to some bath water that's already been ran. Now, if you are a female and you can't get your hair, so if you are a female and you don't want to get your hair wet, what I recommend you doing is what I call the splash technique. So I'm going to demonstrate real quick with just some simple water. So what you would do is you would take the boiled mixture, you would put the herbs to the side, take your bag out of it, put that to the side. So now you're dealing with something that might be looking like this but hot. So what you do is you take your hands and you would drip this on all 7 of your chakras. So you would just take your hands and let those drips right there, you know, drip on all 7 chakras. At the top of your head, on your 3rd eye, in between your eyebrows, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plexus chakra, that's around your navel. Right under your solar plexus chakra is your sacral chakra, and then your root chakra is around your private area. So what you would do, or you can do like the priests do in the Catholic Church and just flick your hands on those 7 chakras. And then what you would do with your herbs is you would follow up by rubbing the herb mixture. It'll be wet on those same chakras. Let that wet mixture sit on there. Remove all negativity on your crown chakra. Remove all negativity on your 3rd eye chakra. The same thing all the way down till you hit all 7 of those chakras with that herb bag touching it. And then you would throw this out. You can throw it in the trash. You can take it in the yard, sprinkle it in the yard. But you want to get rid of it, because this holds all the negativity that you just washed off of you, besides the water. So you want to get rid of this. You can pour your mixture down the drain or outside, or let the water out the tub. Take the herbs, dispose of them. Make sure you get rid of the bag. Some people like to keep the bag. Throw the bag away when you've done cleansing with the bag, okay? Throw the bag away. They're like, when you break down, when you buy them in bulk, they're like 1 to 3 cents a piece. Throw it away. It's not worth trying to save it with all of that energy in it, because once you cleanse it, the energy is now in the water and in the herbs. So that's why you want to get rid of all of your things. So now my mixture is boiling. Okay, it's boiling. You see them herbs boiling in there? And so what I usually do is, because I'm a fire sign, hot stuff don't really bother me. Mix my herb bag around, swirl it in there, make sure it's getting all that boiled water is getting through there, pulling all of the energies of those herbs out. Okay, it's still not on a high, and you can smell it. It smells so delicious and earthy, okay? And so what I'm gonna do is, it's been boiling for about 10 minutes. And so what I'm gonna do is, the stove is on, I think that's a 6 on like a medium high, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, okay? And I'm gonna let those herbs sit and marinate in a covered pot. And then as for 10 minutes, an additional 10 minutes, and then I'll pour this mixture in the tub. Now, I'm not going to show you guys how I do the tub bath, but what I will give you a demonstration. So what I usually try to do is get 2 white candles. Let me get two candles that could represent white. Here go my 2 white candles, and I put them close so it's like a doorway. And so all the negative exits out, or exits out through the bath out, and the positive, only positive energy can go back through this, because these 2 white candles connect to make a veil, like a door, like a gateway that only will allow love and light inside. Okay, all right. So, and you can and I light them, of course. So I have fire in the tub, or by the tub, and I get in there, I wash off, and what I do is I dip my whole body underwater 9 to 13 times, depending on what I'm trying to do. I usually stop at 9, but I'm small and I can't get my whole body, so I kind of ball up in a fetal position and, you know, put my head back under the water, make sure the water covers my face 9 times. And when I lift up from the water covering my face, I try to stand completely up to let the water drain back down and remove the negativity, because we're not in a pool. See, when spiritual baths was first made, they weren't invented in design. They weren't done in a bathroom, in a tub, like we would do this out in nature. So you gotta kind of make some adjustments because you're in your house. So it may feel uncomfortable at first, but do what feels more comfortable to you. If you feel like, you know, just dipping your head in the water and bathing is fine, that's up to you. But I do not recommend that you use soap. This is not a bath to cleanse your body. This is a bath to cleanse your spirit. So do not use any type of soap and take an actual bath. If you need to wash because you haven't taken a bath, you need to take a cleansing bath to wash your ass before you take your spiritual bath, okay? And if you do have spiritual bath soaps, that's when you can use a spiritual bath soap and cleanse your body, okay? But if you're using Dow, Dove, anything that you can buy from Walmart to wash your body, Family Dollar, Kroger's, you cannot, it's not advisable for you to do that in a spiritual bath, because then you're washing away all the efforts of the spiritual bath. Because see, you got to understand how things work, okay? Soap is designed that the bubble of the soap, that's why you get a lather, is to wash away everything off of the surface, including energies, okay? So when you're using that soap, it's removing that, all of the banishing that you did, it's removing it. So everything that you just banished, you got an open plate, you got a blank canvas, so the spirits come right back in you, because it's still in the water, it's still around you. So remember that, all right? And when I get out of the tub, I usually air dry. I try to pat off as much water as I can, pat dry as much water as I can, but I try to air dry, and I try to put on white clothes or white garments after it until I'm completely dried, okay? And I try to spend some time in meditation during the bath and after the bath when I'm drying, about feeling cleansed, about being whole again, being complete, being, you know, freed from those ties and emotions and things like that. And then I go about my day. All right, and I will say, before I go about my day, I do put some type of protection oil, or pray some type of protection prayer over myself to keep my gate closed off, so people can't enter the clean space, or things can't enter the clean space for some time. All right, so hopefully you guys are taking your spiritual baths, and this tutorial has been very informative. I've tried to think of everything that I could think of. Make sure you have your 4 elements going while you're taking your spiritual bath in the tub. That is very, very important. You need to have some type of air can be incense or sound. So if you're in a building or a place where you can't, light an incense, there's no smoking in the building, blase squaze, whatever, you can also use music to cleanse the air. It's high frequency beats, binaural beats, things like that. So it's things you could do to, get all of those 4 elements going. All right. Peace, light, and love, family.